Good morning, everybody. Ignore this, it's just my sunglasses thing. It is currently 5:45 in the morning. We are back on the St. Johns River. Today, we got two objectives, really three. First one is topwater and jig work, okay? Second objective, the big one, catch some river monsters. So we're not only looking for bass today, we're also gonna be looking for things like bowfin, and we're gonna see, this is the third one, we're gonna see if we can somehow get a snakehead out here. I'm gonna try, but there's no telling. Let's go ahead and get the boat in the water though, and let's go ahead and head down to spot number one. It's real early, so by the time we actually get to spot one, it'll be probably just about light or just starting to come over, but I'll see you at spot one. To lose it, if I lose this one, I might just never use this walking bait again, because that would be horrendous luck. I've lost so many fish on it, and then I changed the hooks out because I'm like curious why I'm missing all my hook sets. I'm even letting them run with it, but then, you know, they basically spit me. Found out the hooks that came on that thing were just incredibly dull. But right now, I just want to kind of run this top water, especially as this sun starts coming up a little bit. There we go. Now the top water bite is starting. Or at least the bite is starting to show up. Shoo! Yep, bait is running. Got one. Oh, baby. Ooh. All right, first of the day, mama. Let's go ahead and get these hooks out and get a better look at them. Go ahead and get that guy back in the water. I don't got to cast away out there. Oh! It's hard to see it right now because of the glare on the water. I'm not putting my sunglasses on because it's not bright enough to have those. But it's hard to see this thing. It gets hidden by the glare in the water after a blow up. You're kidding. You're kidding. You're joking. That is just unfortunate. Oh, perfect. Perfect. White frog. They seem to be going after white and shad, so that's gonna be good. And then if the frog bite's not working too hot, we might throw a jerk bait on that's silver, try to get the same thing to work. Now what I'm gonna do is, oops, sorry. Yeah, good enough. It'll do. That's what I'm saying. It'll do. I'm not doing a loop knot. I'm just gonna do a Palomar knot. That's one of like the flat out strongest knots you can tie. Simple, easy to tie. Loop through. Overhand, through. Pull your tag, or pull your straight, cut your tag. That's all you gotta do. Palomar knot, one of the most reliable lures, or not lures, but whatchamacallits. And then we're gonna take these hooks, bend it out just a little bit. Got him. Oh my God, I just camped him. Oh, and he's a fighter too. Whoo! Oh, that's a good one, dude. That's a solid boy right there. Whew. I just pitched onto him like that. Oh my goodness. Oh. Would you believe me if I told you that's my first frog catch? Let's get this hook out of him. Good, he's hooked good. There we go. Let's take a closer look at this guy, because good night, he is beautiful. He fought very hard, and I loved every second of it. I'm gonna get rid of this jig right here, this spinner bait. While it would be good for today, there's light wind, open water out here. It would be great for it actually. But the thing is there's not a whole lot of cover to bounce this off of. And that's what I've noticed, is bouncing off of cover is what really makes this thing attractive for fish to go after, I guess you could say. So instead, we're gonna pull the good old-fashioned tackle bag out, bring our rod back here, bring our hook with us, and get our pliers out from the box. I know my box is a mess, but in reality, whose box is never in a mess? Or whose box is never a mess? My swim bait box, or I guess you could say moving bait for the most part. Cutaway. This right here. Now what I got on here is 17-pound fluorocarbon. That's just my favorite line to use all around. I use it for basically everything except for topwater. Topwater, I use 20-pound braid. Some people use 60-pound, 65-pound braid, and I'm like, ooh, that's even for me, that's a bit much. Now we're gonna take this little guy right here. All right, this is a firework jig. You can get them on Carl's, and it's not a Strike King trailer, but it's similar to it. I got it on Amazon for like $2 just to try them out. But I do have Strike King trailers too that I'll throw on this thing, and obviously bandito bugs, which will go on my green rod that has that Texas rig set up on it. We're gonna set it up for punching rather than throwing, you know, a traditional jig like this thing is. It's a nice little light guy, and we're gonna shift up to these pads and work with it, because we've got wind coming from behind me. It's gonna make it a little hard to fish it, but I like the way these pads look, especially with that overhang there. We're gonna see if we can get anything to really commit while we're out here. We're just gonna kind of keep ourselves back here. Throw that jig out there and immediately bird nest. That's great for our first cast, you know. Now here's where I tell you that wind is going to be a factor here. We want to get pushed up on that other bank on the other side over there. So this is more so me going to try to make a comparison for you guys as to why you want to be shielded from the wind rather than in it. Because I'm getting thrashed by the wind right now. See, here we are, trussed up, just getting shoved around. Now we're going to try to really get away from this wind, because the further we get from that bank over there, the rougher this wind's going to be. If we get right up on that bank, we'll have a lot more protection from the wind. So I'll see you guys over there, and you'll see the difference in the wake. All right, so we are pulling up over here, and you can see with all this brush and stuff, the wind here is way calmer, way more calm. And we're right on these pads, but you see these are pads that I'm not going to throw topwater on. Actually, I'm actually more so going to stick to a jig and punch because of how thick these pads are. These are these really strong, really heavy, hard to get on top of pads because they're so high out of the water, and when they're in the water they're so thick that your frog don't even get in the water basically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this left bank here from left all the way up it, try to keep myself as protected from the wind as I can, and try to see if we can get any kind of bites on a jig or a punch rig. Why am I primarily going to use a jig? Reason being is these things are perfect for all kinds of fishing. They're, in my opinion, some of, if not the most versatile bait you can have besides the Texas rig. You know, you can throw a jig in wood, grass, pads like this, or even open water. They make different jigs for everything. You just got to experiment with your retrieval technique and figure out what works best for you. Even the rod, you know, the rod can make a difference, but you don't have to go buy those $500, $600 rods. You can go get you an $85 rod from Walmart and it'll do the job just fine. Don't think you have to spend a lot of money to have fun fishing. You don't. This is an $85 rod combo I got at Walmart. You can see it's beat the heck and back, but I still use it as one of my most favorite rods to use, I guess you could say. But back to the jig. Holy crap, that was a huge snakehead. So jigs are super versatile. I love to use them in all different types of water columns. You know, they're practical, useful, cheap, and they make a whole different, you know, bunch of different colors for them. Got one. Oh, jeez. Oh, whoo. Whoo, whoo, that's a river monster. That's a monster. Whoo. Holy crap, I don't have my net today. Ooh. What is that? That is a giant. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm gonna let him tire himself out a little bit. Let him peel. I didn't think he went for that. Oh, that's not what I wanted with the drag, or with my, whatchamacallit, with my jig. We're gonna have to boat flip this guy. He's big, dude. Look at how big he is. Oh my goodness. Oh, all right, let's get him in the boat. Anyways, whoo, whoo. Come here, you son of a gun. You done? You finally done? He's finally done. God, that's a monster. That's a monster freaking bow. I think this is a bowfin. Oh, he choked that thing. Calm down. Get in this boat. Ooh. Oh, he's gonna pop my line if he tweaks whenever I get him in. We're gonna have to get this guy in here fast. Oh my God. Oh. Dude, he demolished that line. I don't even know how I was gonna get that guy in here. I wasn't gonna stick my hand near that thing. If you don't know, these guys got some pretty damn sharp teeth. They'll mess you up if they get you. Golly. Well, shoo. Let me get a jig tied on and we'll go back to talking about what I like about jigs. He just popped the tar out of my line. And then I decided to high stick him. I should have done what I was doing earlier where I'm basically holding the line and pulling him out. I just got so nervous and so excited. Let's see if we can catch that river monster again. Ooh! Just had a good bite there too. Like good bite. Something tugged me. Got him. Ooh, got that boy. Oh, it's not the same one. Get in the boat. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Ooh. Okay. Let's get all that out of the way. Let's get this guy in the boat ASAP. ASAP Rocky, baby. Now this right here is an American bowfin. Beautiful fish to catch. Very, damn. You can see those teeth I was telling you about though. Got super sharp teeth. Very, predatory on bass. I'm not the biggest fan of catching them. Give me my damn hook back, dude. All right, let me get this hook out, get him back in the water. Trying to get a bowfin to commit again. I want one more bowfin, 2 bass, 2 bowfin, and a lost bowfin. 5 for a video wouldn't be too bad. It's now the little popping walk I do isn't really working, so instead we're just going to kind of drag. And I can see where some of them are popping up at. I also don't want to stay out here too late because I got to wash a lot of blood out of the boat. I got a good bit of blood to wash out because if I don't wash that out today, that's going to stain. And last thing I want is a bunch of blood stains in this thing. It's already red. This is beautiful, actually. Holy crap. Try not to plant my stake on these pads. Try to get it right past them. Something like right here. Right in between these 2 big sets of pads. Perfect. We are nice and shallow. Nice and shallow. We're not gonna be, you know, too incredibly deep to where we can't see the fish, but this is also shallow enough to where you can do what's called sight fishing, which is where you look for the fish directly and then try to cast them on top of it, if that makes sense. And you can see right here is just the leftovers of the jig. Just absolutely obliterated the jig. Something wants it. Just missed twice in a row. Let's get this bite back. Doesn't look like a bad sized bass out there. Don't want to cast too hard, and I don't want to set my hook too hard either. Oh, see what I mean? Oh, there we go. Hooked up and I wasn't even able to see it. I was trying to make sure I wasn't gonna... Ooh, he just hooked himself good too. Nice. Nice little guy right there. You're telling me I've made 2 one-eyed willies now. Okay. May not show y'all getting the hook out of this guy's eye, because that might be a little more graphic than I want. Good hook set to the corner of the mouth. I know. Daggum, you got some sharp teeth, boy. There we go. Look at this beautiful little guy. He's adorable. His eye doesn't look too bad. Let's get him back in the water. And let's get back out there. Well, all back-to-back casts, baby. Come here. Back-to-back casts. Ooh, this is a much bigger one. Maybe not much, but it's a good one. That's a good one right there. Jeez, this is gonna be rough to get out too. There we go. All right, so this is a much nicer catch than the last one. Very cute, very good. Try to revive the guy. There we go. Nice. So, why am I throwing topwater in jigs today, and why am I targeting what I was targeting? Well, very simple. Topwater is, in my opinion, well, not in my opinion, it's honestly kind of a fact at this point. Topwater is my worst technique presentation because I hardly ever did topwater when I was fishing ponds. So I've got a lot of learning and catching up to do when it comes to throwing topwater. And jigs are some of my favorite baits to use. I think they're some of, if not the most versatile style of baits. And I think you can use a type of jig for whatever environment, whether it be swim jig, football jig, micro jigs, whatever it is. I think there's a use for a jig everywhere you are. Even in open water, if I wanted to fish this channel that's out here, I would argue that there's a type of jig you could use. I would throw a swim jig out here, to be honest, or I would throw a micro jig, or like a bitsy jig essentially. But oh my gosh, I look away every single time and get blown up. Obviously we're targeting bass because that's my favorite species to fish for, salt or freshwater. Saltwater, my favorite is definitely reds. I like reds a lot. Come on, go again for it. Go again for it, come on. I think bowfin are an interesting species. They're not necessarily invasive. They're actually native to Florida. I believe it's called the American bowfin or the Florida bowfin, whatever it is. But they're just a good fighting fish, and they've got a lot of weight to them. They're very predatory though. The only thing I don't like is that they do kind of mess up the ecosystem a little bit, because they do hunt a lot of other predatory fish. They hunt bass, pickerel, gar, all that stuff. They are very predatory, so they do kind of mess up the ecosystem. Goodness, dude, they're just missing. There's a spot I used to fish with a buddy of mine who showed me the spot where he, me, and another one of his buddies, we would go out there and bowfin fish, and we wouldn't catch one like the one I caught the other day out here and the one I lost the other day. Those are probably the two biggest bowfin I've had on my line, one of which I actually landed. The biggest one I had was literally at my boat, and I was lifting it up and lost it, which I'm pretty sure that clips in here. But that's really what we're trying to go for. This is a 2-3 day long video basically. It's taken multiple days to film it. It's gonna take me probably a day and a half to edit it because I'm really bad at editing. It seems like the bait may have already stopped running. I mean, there's that one fish camping over there, but I don't know if I can cast over to that. And then there's this one over here on my left. I'll see if I can hit either of those. This one's probably the more likely of the two. Not even close. But that's fine. Ooh, we just got a good... Oh, we're tied up. Ooh, this one's fighting pretty good. Whoo-wee. Come on. Ooh, this is a good one. Come on, man. Come on, man. What do you even do about that? Like, really, what can you even do? Ooh, that's a nice one. Stay low for me. Oh, he's swimming right at the boat. He's swimming right at the boat. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Oh, he's trying to go under. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Look at that. Okay, let's get these bottom hooks out of you first. These bottom hooks are barely in you. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Let's sit down. Get surgical with it. Just because I have the most outrageous hatred towards treble hooks going into my hand. And these hooks went into my hand so many times last night trying to put them on. And I'm trying to get that hook through you, Bubba. To the points where I've bent my pliers. There we go. That's all it really took. Alright, so they're loving the topwater guy right now. We're going to keep working the walking bait, but look at him. Probably the best of the day. I'd say pound and a half, maybe? Yeah, pound and a half, pound 3/4. There we go. Alright. I guess, change of plans. I guess we'll just ride out topwater until topwater stops working. Then we'll shift and start targeting those bowfin. Because I think another bait run might be starting in a second or two. Every single time I look away, I get a hook or a bite. Like, for any of my catches today, not a single one of them, I haven't been looking. Cast out here. All right, last cast and then we're moving. All right, that is it. That was the last cast. I'm going to put some sunscreen on before the sun gets too high. Change out the battery in this GoPro. It's done me so well today. I didn't charge it all the way, aka I bought Amazon ones that don't last nearly as long. But I'm gonna reorganize the rods down here, get some sunscreen on, and we're gonna head to spot 2. It's about an hour boat ride. I don't know if I'll get B-roll footage of it, of me on the way there. If I do, awesome. If not, it's gonna be a pretty boring ride, to be honest with you guys. I gotta burn way that way. So I will see you at the next spot. Need to get a new trolling motor eventually. That'll probably be the first thing I realistically get for this thing. We're gonna try to sneak up to these pads up here. And we have the net this time. So if I catch that monster fish I had last time, if I catch that monster fish again, I ain't losing it this time. That is the worst first cast I could have made right there. Yeah, see, they'll be camping all up in these. So this is option 1 right now, is throwing a jig, because that's what they went for last time. Option 2 is Texas rigging a white super fluke or a silver super fluke. Reason being is because they also prey not only on bass, but they prey on shad a lot. And I've caught a lot of them on just shad color or actual like shiners. So what did we learn from this video? Like, what did we pick up? What did we notice? First things first, this video actually was 3 separate days of recording. First day was just really focusing on top water, and it was okay. It wasn't the greatest. Losing that bait sucked, really did. I had to bleep out, if the clip is in there, I had to bleep out some language because I said a lot of bad words, and I'd like to keep this somewhat PG. Day 2, we were really starting to push for jigs. That's really what the goal was. Head way up north to this new spot I saw on maps, try it out, it looks pretty cool, and see what we can get going with jigs. Lost a monster bowfin and a brand new jigging trailer, and then caught I guess you could say a redemption one, but it's really not even close to a redemption one in my opinion. But I do want to try to chase that bowfin and catch it again, because it snapped 17-pound fluorocarbon line with just dead weight. It wasn't fighting or anything like that. I was lifting it up and my line just snapped and exploded essentially. You could see where it was frayed up and stuff, which is something I've never had happen. I've never had fluorocarbon, let alone 17-pound fluorocarbon, just pop like that. So out of curiosity, I looked up the state record. It's 19 pounds, 4 ounces. I don't think that fish is the state record or even tying the state record. I just want to see how close it got to it. Day 3, we tried both, you know. We're out there, back again, going for topwater. We had a way better topwater bite than last time on day 3, but we did not have any semblance of a jig bite. And reasons I think that is because by the time I'm out there throwing the jig, the sun is overhead and it's just muggy, hot, and there's not a whole lot of wind, and if there is wind, it's too much wind. Now, not a clue what's coming after this. All I can say is I'm definitely chasing that bowfin. I want to catch that bowfin again. This time I will have a net. I beat myself up pretty bad for not having my net after I lost that fish. I am not making that mistake again. But that is all from me, you know. I probably gave some really bad explanations of the colors I use and why I throw what color and what yada yada yada. Next video I will try to give you a clear and concise reason and explanation as to why I throw what I throw and stuff like that, and why I think it works best. But that will be all. I will see you guys in the next one.